Thanks, Tejas. I'm kind of overwhelmed by his response when he said he single-handedly takes care of all these things. Uh, Dear friends, I'm thankful that our Dean R&D took out some time to come up and cheer us regarding this MedTech Hackathon, and also thankful to Dr. Tarun Gupta and Dr. Bangira as well. When the importance of IPR cannot be neglected at any stage. If you see in your daily lives, even if you just invert the Milton water bottles in your home, you will find a design application number written just at the bottom of that bottle. And even if you see your eye glasses, I mean, if you see the side of your eyeglasses, you will also see some design application number written over there. So the relevance and importance of these IP assets is to stop someone else from infringing upon your idea, stopping someone else from using, reproducing, and selling your ideas. There was specific effort has been made by the inventor. That is why how come this IP has been generated, and behind that effort, some liquidation has to be there. To how to stop someone else from infringing your IP and using your IP. That's the main objective of this talk. And I've also included 2 workshops of 10 minutes within this talk. Each including of 10 minutes. So one will be over the claim drafting session, and the other will be over the patent search, how to search your patent. For example, if you have any idea and you want to be certain that whether it could be filed as a patent or not. So a basic search, how it could be done. Nonetheless, any expertise patent search report cannot be compared with these basic searches, but you can get a glimpse of or a basic idea how a patent search report is being generated, or how such type of technical search is being done. So I would proceed with this note. That's not okay. Before starting to IP, I just wanted to show you an example. Someone someday said this idea is good or bad. I recently got a note from one of my colleagues. One day she said no idea is good or bad. I mean, that's the enforcement, or that's the application part, how important it is and how you take it forward. There is a level scale of technology development called as technology readiness level. 98% of the patents being filed, be it India or in US, no one surpasses the TRL level of 3. And those who surpass, out of those also only 2% of them make some revenue. So it is one of the examples. This I call it a technology. This bag was invented by one of the design program students, Ishan Sadasivan. Ishan Sadasivan came one day and he proposed this invention. He said there is a certain lying problem which I can solve through this invention. And the background of this invention was he went to rural places. He found out that the students in government colleges do not have the privilege to have seats and tables in their schools, and they have to sit on the floor. While sitting on the floor, they have a back strain, neck strain, as well as eye strain. To solve this problem, he came up with an idea where the bag was invented, which was embedded with a table. So I still recall in 2005, we have filed a design patent for this. The design patent has been granted. He took it forward. He went ahead and surpassed the TRL3 mark as well. Now Ishan has started initially as a student, as an entrepreneur through startup route, and now the current turnover and the employment rate, if I talk about the team size of Ishan's company, that's around 30, more than 30. So you see, I mean, a basic idea what the changes it could bring to the society, and this is the social change I see right now. So this idea, I mean, it is available on GEM portal. Lot of government agencies, CSR companies are supporting this. So it's a basic idea where basic problem was solved through some basic innovation. So no idea is good or bad. I mean, it's just the enforcement or the application part, how you take it forward. So the important keynote in between this page is like, please do not forget to file a patent or a design or any IPR prospect before proceeding ahead. Few days back, one of the companies infringed upon this invention. They not only imitated the website content of Ishan's company, but they also imitated the exact replica copy of this bag as well. Now Ishan has licensed this technology from IIT Kanpur. He sub-licenses as well, and also filing a suit against the infringer who has copied and imitated his technology as well. So he's making money from all sides. That's the USP of this invention. It's a basic technology, no high-end tech was involved. Through CAD/CAM imaging, he has initially rendered the design. He went ahead, fabricated the design. Further improvement, this is the fourth version of this bag. The initial 3 versions were heavy. Some inconvenience was happening with the bag. So how it went ahead, and it took some time of 1 year of hard effort involving a lot of designers, engineers, and aesthetic people who had the sense of how to proceed ahead and give a better view of the bag, better how this could be taken forward. So that's how this importance of IP. It's a real life example at IIT Kanpur. Another example, I mean, few people say, I mean, technology should be limited to tech and engineering and design only. Why tech, engineering and design only? IP can also cover those inventions which fall under the category of social category. It could be agriculture, it could be water problem solution, it could be anything else as well. So a group of students along with a faculty member from design program, they came up again with a solution. We often hear about the child sexual abuse, and we hear it and everyone says this never happens. So the team went to 3 classes of people, the higher classes, the middle classes, and the lower classes. Then when they went to the higher classes, they said this never happens in our families. I mean, we are high class people. This happens only in the middle or the lower class. When they went in the middle class, they said in the higher and the lower, and same was the case when they went to the lower class. So everyone was aware and concerned about their kids, small kids, but no one was accepting the fact that majority of the incidents were happening, which were from the known people. 42% of the cases that were reported, majority of them were from the known people. So they have come up with a kit where a set of cards, playing games, colorful kits, and brochures was embedded along with some video, audio instructions. And with these instructions, they come up with a set of kit which has been licensed further to some other company to take it forward through entrepreneurial route, and could be sold in different schools and different NGOs and different social organizations as well. So this was also filed as a copyright. We filed a license for this as well. So I'm just quoting the example or the limitations of IP. It is not specifically limited to any engineering, tech, or design, but is also covering the social domain as well. So that's how these examples were. I would like to proceed further. Now the first question comes, why unlock the potential of IPR? What is the need of having an IPR? I mean, I gave 2 examples. Had it been a case where there was no design, where there was no copyright, it's always have an additional weightage to a company, to an inventor's invention if you have an IP assets. Even the company valuations are increased by a certain percentage if you have any IP assets. Why? Because the simple reason is no one else can imitate them, no one else can copy them and reproduce them. While the investors who are investing in your company, they will certainly try to find out what are the IP sections there. Gone are the days when a fixed asset were considered to be the highest percentage of valuation for any startup company. Now IP assets are a prominent asset when the valuation of a company is being done. So this is the reason why unlock the potential of IPR. This creation of mind leads to a business. I mean, whatever you convert, there's no point in having an idea which doesn't get translated into some monetary benefit. I mean, why to invent something which doesn't have any monetary benefit? You keep on doing the research, there is no social benefit, there is no monetary benefit. There's no point in having such type of idea. Even the government also says the third point of patenting, the third requirement is, I mean, if there is no industrial applicability, there is no point in having an IP and patent or a design. So that's the reason why you should unlock the potential of your IPR. What you need to do, you only have to jot it down your idea into an abstract. You go ahead, you search your patent. If you could not search, you may approach any IPR professional or patent professional who could do all these type of searches for you. Further, you can file a patent if it is falling under the category of patent, or a design, or a copyright, or a trademark as well. So that was the reason why to protect IPR, why unlock the potential of IPR. In the next few minutes, I will be talking about the different prospects of IPR, how important it is. I mean, I understand most of you must be knowing the basics of IPR, what IPR prospects are, patent design, what category, what is the terminology, and how they are falling and infringing upon different domains of inventions as well. So, as most of you are aware about the patents, I mean, the any product or process which is novel, having consist of inventive step as well as having industrial applicability could fall under the category of patent. And this is a universal part that any patent in any of the countries, the term for that patent is 20 years. If you go any of the countries, be it US, China or India, the term for patent protection will be 20 years. Also, one important fact that IP prospects are jurisdictional. I mean, if you file a patent in India, you will enjoy the rights within India only. If you want to file a patent in US, you will get and enjoy the rights only in US only. And one of the exceptions for this jurisdiction is the copyright. Copyright is the only exceptional IP prospect which is acceptable globally. If you file a copyright, you will still enjoy your copyright in US, in India, irrespective of the country's jurisdictional state as well. If I talk about the another important aspect of IPR, that's a design patent. You might have seen the water Milton bottles in your home. I mean, there's a specific aesthetic sense. There is a specific when you tilt your bottle to pour a glass of water, there is a specific flow rate which comes out of that bottle, and the water doesn't splashes. I mean, if you take some other glass of water and you do it like that, all the water will come right away, and the water will be everywhere or on the table. So that design part which has been embedded into the water bottle, that is kind of important. So most of the companies, branded, even startup companies, are also proceeding and taking protection against their inventions. So the prominent examples are eyeglasses, water bottles, even shoes and apparels as well. Most of the apparel designers in metro cities are going for protection of their apparels as well. You might have heard about Manish Malhotra, Abu Jani and other designers. All the apparels, whatever they float into the market, before floating their invention or the apparel into the market, they always seek protection from the design sense. So the protection for tenure for design patent is 10 years, and the minimum requirement is to have a three-dimensional aesthetic view. However, functionality is not being protected under this design, this IP prospect. If I talk and take an example of this mic or cordless mic might be having some functionality where my low volume, low audible speech is being converted to a high audible speech. Now, if I see the aesthetics of this mic, this has a semi-spherical shape on the top, and it is a cylindrical, elongated version of this stick, which could be holded by me in my hand. So that's the design. While if I leave aside the functionality part, it falls under the category of a patent. So that's a basic difference, how you could segregate what falls under the category of a design, what falls under the category of a patent. So that's a basic idea. Let's move on to trademark. In your everyday life, you go through a lot of trademarks. I mean, if you see your apparels, if your shoes, cars, they are all embedded with some logo where you need not to say or write the name of that brand. Just by looking at that brand's logo, you can say that this is the name, this car or this apparel belongs to so and so company. That not only denotes the name of the company, but also denotes the brand value of that company. Just by buying Levi's jeans, you are not buying a simple apparel, but you are also buying some quality product from the market. But how come you are ensured that this apparel belongs to that specific company? So there is a specific brand value which is associated with the trademark. So a trademark could be anything ranging from color, combination, word, or combination of all these things as well. There are associated marks which are there in the market, not only the word, symbol or color or a combination of these, but there are also scent marks, there are also logo marks, there are taglines which are covered under the IP prospect of trademark as well. So how this is ongoing, if I talk about the brand value of trademark of Coca-Cola, it's in multi-billions. I mean the logo alone. And if I talk about the simple example of infringements of trademark, I still recall a company from Gurgaon, H2O Cola, which has tried to imitate somehow similar mark to that of Coca-Cola. The company's entire worth of that H2O Cola was 2 CR. The entire revenue in an annual statement was 2 CR. What Coca-Cola did, they filed a suit against H2O Cola. In the courtroom itself, the owner of that company said, we cannot afford the hearing of these commercial courts. But still, since Coca-Cola wants to set an example, that's why they went ahead. And the Coca-Cola's attorneys were charging 5 lakh rupees per hearing. So they weren't concerned about these charges, but they want to set an example where if someone infringes upon the brand value of a MNC, what they could do. So their main intent or motive was to acquire that company and squeeze them to throw them out of the market. So that was the impact, how important these IPRs are really. So that, you might have heard very basic infringement cases where Pakshi Petha of Agra is there, and some other person came out in the market and said there is a Panchi Petha. So similar trademarks could also not be given in a upfront manner. There are certain classes, categories, and services under these trademarks for which these trademarks are being application received and granted. If I talk about the goods, so I mean trademark goods fall under the category of 36 categories of goods are there for trademarks, and 11 service marks are there. So if you want to file a trademark in the category of chemical, there is a specific category called as class 19. If you want to file some agriculture based trademark, you'll have to go through class number 11. Same definition falls for the goods for the service trademark as well. If you want to file a trademark for a hotel industry which falls under the category of service mark, then you have to file under the class number 39 or class number 40. So how important these things are. It might happen that the initial phase you might feel that it is a burdensome to have an IP prospect, but you can take help of any IPR professional who could facilitate this and make simplify. Many times we receive questions like people ask me whether it is a good idea to file your own patent or own trademark from yourself. Being a single inventor or a natural inventor, you can file, yes you can do, but it is always advisable to have a professional's help, because I mean this is a time taking process. Even a single patent filing, starting from patent filing day to a grant day, it takes 48 months of time. Although expedited cases could also be done where a patent has been granted in a month's time or even in a week's time, but patent professionals' help cannot be replaced through any means. Another important IPR prospect is the trade secret. You might be aware about the Coca-Cola formulation that is not known to anyone. Even the highest executives of Coca-Cola, they are not allowed to travel in the single country and cannot be on a single plane or single city at a single point of time. 4 executives are known to having different formulations. There are formulations like A, B, C, D. The highest executive, number 1, knows about the formulation 1, but that formulation also comes from several different sources as well. So no one exactly knows what are there. If someone knows the formulation A, he doesn't know about the formulation B, C, and D. And plus there are high restrictions that they cannot communicate with each other. So there are no chances of being these formulation disclosed. So that falls under the category of trade secret. Trade secret, there is no restriction required. You only have to keep your secret as secret. That's called as trade secret. Another IPR prospect, that is copyright, very important prospect. People often ask whether my software falls under the category of software under patent or not. So my answer is software per se, the legislation of India, it falls under the category of copyright only. Since copyright is given for those inventions where literary work is involved. Literary means stories, poem, or any combination of word, digits, and Boolean algorithm as well. So wherever there is source code, wherever there is some algorithm, copyright will be given. Copyright is also given for broadcasting rights, even for your poems, for your authorship, whatever stories or research paper you give, copyright is meant for that. Very thin line differentiation is there between a copyright or a patent. If you have any invention where software is there, it will fall under the category of that copyright. But if you have that software embedded with the hardware, that is called that that is called as an embedded system, where that embedded system, when it is combination of hardware plus software, falls under the category of patent. So, but there is a very thin line differentiation criteria for having a copyright or for having a patent. So that's all these IPR prospects are. We can have questions in a later stage. Even if you feel in between, we can have those questions. That's a basic types of patents in different countries. If I talk about the patents, I mean, in our country we have functional patent, we have design patent. When I say functional patent, it includes a product as well as a process patent. When I say the design patent, the exact terminology is design registration in our country. But if you go ahead and go to USA, you will find patents called as utility patents. You will find plant patents as well. On the contrary to plant patents, we in our country, we do have different legislation. We have an authority called as PPVFRA, Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers' Right Association. This is responsible for the protection of very unique varieties of perennial crops, vines and trees, and these horticulture based crops as well. So there is an authority which looks after the outcome of these crops, whether it was local variety or a hybrid combination of some specific horticulture crop. So upon evaluation, this authority gives the exact right or the grant of this perennial crop to the farmer or group of association or even to the village authority as well. Yes. If the basic third line is, I mean, if your invention consists of any aesthetic sense and your invention also consists of any functionality part, that's a novelty inventive step, and these criteria are being fulfilled, you can go ahead for combination of both, that is design patent as well as this functional patent as well. There were cases where we have filed design patent as well as functional patent for both the things. Because we have tried to show the functionality through some specific design in the patent draft, but we found ourselves to be at the back step when we could not disclose the rendered design or the aesthetics of that design. So that is why in combination with patent, functional patent, we also went ahead for the design patent. Okay. I mean, a rendered design, if a prototype has not been made, that will suffice the requirement. In case if the prototype is made, you can have a plain background and 6 different views are required to have a design patent application. That is a top, bottom, front, back, right, left, and one more, that is perspective. That's the 7th requirement. With this 7 views, you can file your application. The process of design patent is really very simple. Even any one of you can file a patent, file a design patent. You can go to the website, you can download form 1, you can put all these pictures, put your name, address and all relevant details. Even you can find some examples of applications which are available there, and that is cost effective as well. I mean, if I talk about the patent filing is a bit costlier. I mean, it costs somewhere around 70,000, 80,000 for an institutional filing. Even for natural inventors, it costs somewhere around 45,000 rupees at an upfront stage. On the contrary, design patent costs somewhere around 8,000 or 7,000 rupees, where the fees, government fees alone is 4,000 rupees. Types of patent application, that's one of the important aspects. You might be going through some phases where KGMU, you have sorted out some problems, and now you are coming and jotted down your problems into a solution. So in this phase, you might be feeling that the data is not complete. You haven't figured out how your testing phase will come out, what will be the outcomes, what will be the resultants of these data sets or the research part that when you will come over. So for that, when you are concerned about your research being imitated or copied by someone else, you can file a provisional patent. When you file a provisional patent, you just give a initial basic idea of your invention with some basic details of the invention. In that invention, you also have to qualify for 3 basic steps. That is the novelty. It has to be novel, naya hona chahiye. Second is the inventive step. It should be some application part has to be done by you. For example, if you wake up 3 in the morning and you say, I just watched the falling star, I want to file a patent for that. So that is not there. You'll have to perform some application part, then only you will be able to qualify for the second step. And third is the industrial applicability. If you have invented something which is useful for you or your mother or your father or your parents only, that is not useful at all. It could be mass reproducible, it could be reproduced on a mass scale, it could be beneficial for public at large. On the contrary, there are restrictions specific, like you cannot file a patent which is harmful for human being, which is on the contrary on unethical route or on a non-moral route. That there are certain restrictions, plus there are processes which could not be filed, like a process of agriculture cannot be filed as a patent, process of medical treatment could not be filed as a patent, plus anything which is denying the basics rules of science. Suppose tomorrow you come to me and say, sir, I have made a perpetual machine where perpetual motion is there. So that is not possible for anyone, I mean, because it is denying the basic laws of sciences. You say there is free energy. So free energy, I mean, there is a basic concept of free energy. If you say some perpetual motion is happening just because without the conversion of energy from any existing state to a new form, you say this just energy is arising. So energy cannot be arise. I mean, it gets transferred from one form to another form. So denying of any format of existing basics laws of science, that can also not be filed as a patent.
Even the viruses and bacteria also you cannot.
Sorry, sir?
Viruses and bacteria.
Yeah, anything that is occurring in natural state that cannot also be filed as a patent. So that's one of the prominent examples for filing a patent. If you file a new strain of bacteria or a virus, you haven't performed any application part into it, you haven't done any inventive step into that. You just took out the virus from some source and you have through some test and biological test, you got to a conclusion that this is a novel and this could be filed as a patent. So that cannot also be filed as a patent. Sir? Sorry?
If there is a mutant that has been found out, can we patent that as well?
I mean, and sir, I mean, basic umbrella rule, thumb rule is like if you found out anything in natural state, then it cannot be filed as a patent.
But GMOs can be.
GMO is an application, a vector is there, DNA molecule modification is there, a lot of inventive part is there. That's why it could be filed as. Yes, application part, yes, where application has been done. I mean, GMO has not been found in natural state.
Yeah, but GMOs can be.
Yes, yes.
So combination of biological fluid or like some chemicals.
There is.
Can be a patent like a formula for like combination of different biological fluid.
So there is another.
Certain like some fermentation or some processes.
Okay. A process can be done if it's a novel process. However, there is a specific formula, yes sir. So there is a specific restriction in the Patent Act as well, called as section 3, where mere mixturing or admixturing of reagents which were found to be in a separate state, and you are mere admixturing those state, that can also not be filed as a patent. So mere admixturing is not possible to file as a patent.
But the application can be.
Application, does that application involve any process? So that's my question. If that involves any process, yes, it could be filed as a patent.
Okay, so give me an example. Let's just say I have a novel cosmetic.
Yes.
Cosmetic components are all there. And I mixed an additional component to it.
So was that additional component
This additional component gives UV protection.
gives?
UV protection.
Okay.
So can this be patented?
Yes, that can be patented because
And that additional component is natural.
Novelty should be the composition.
novelty should be there. Mere admixturing should not be done. Some processing has to be involved. I mean, if you are going through a process of heating or cooling or some admixturing where some process is involved, that process can be filed as a patent.
What about formulation?
Formulation cannot be patented.
So none of the cosmetics formulations are patented.
I mean, if they are in
Like Nivea's cosmetic, it's not patented. Is it? I don't. Like, I'm asking.
if those components are in natural state, they cannot be.
No,
If
synthetic, right? They're readily available.
But they just there's a catch. Like
Yeah.
he said that there has to be some sort of process.
process has to be there.
Sure, I'm not calling this process.
Yeah.
I'm not following their process. I don't want to follow their process.
If
Okay.
you provide 10% of X and
Take an
20%
example
of
of botulism. That's what is that way? Botox.
Yeah, Botox for cosmetics.
Yeah. So you take that as an example for not able to patent product?
I will make the same cosmetic using different process.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yes, you can do it. Yeah. If you are bringing a new process, I assume that it has not been patented earlier.
I will get
Yeah.
generic process.
Generic process.
You just mix it using mixer and something like that.
So okay, so generic process, there is a specific act behind that generic process. There are specific rules and regulation for patent act. If you are skilled in a particular art, I mean, if you know carpentry very well and you come up with a chair that is novel, that also cannot be patented. So the authority will say that you are already skilled in that specific art, and whosoever is skilled in that art can make that chair. So that is also one of the reasons where when he said he would follow the generic process. So generic process cannot also be filed as a patent. So okay, one of the important that I told you, the 3 different types of patent application was the provisional and a complete. After filing the provisional patent, you can proceed ahead and you will be given a time span of 12 months. During that 12 months of time, you can go ahead and find out your data, you can do your experiments, you can find out the conditions under which you are getting favorable results. With that results, you can proceed ahead for the CAP filing, that is complete after provisional. If you do not file the complete patent after filing the provisional within a time span of 12 months, your patent will be abandoned. However, there are specific expansion options available in the patent office when you say your research part is not over and you want some extension of time. That is also possible through provisional patent, but a complete patent draft must be submitted before 12 months of time. Complete patent, when you have the complete data set with you, you have all the research upfront in your hand, you can go ahead and file your complete patent. The basic filing charges are very simpler. I mean, the fees start from 1600 rupees for natural inventor as an official fees, and it goes up to 8000 rupees for a bigger institution like IIT Kanpur. As I have mentioned earlier, all these protection are jurisdictional only. If you file a patent in India, you will enjoy the rights in India only. If you file a patent in US, you will find you will enjoy the rights in US only. However, there are myths available among the research community. Someone says that there is a global patent. There is no per se specific terminology called as global patent. You will have to file in each and individual country specifically. Then another type of patent is the patent of addition. After a few years, when you feel that you might not have done complete justice to your earlier filed patent, you can file a patent of addition. In addition to your existing research, you can add addendum as well, called as patent of addition. But there is a specific drawback associated with that patent of addition. When that patent of addition get rejected, your original patent application will also be rejected. So that's the drawback associated if you do not completely give complete specification about your complete patent draft. Another patent type of application, that's a divisional application. Sometimes you are coming with an invention where there's a combination of table plus chair, and the examiner feels that the table falls under some other domain and the chair falls under some other domain. Then the examiner could give instructions to the inventors to segregate these two invention in a separate application, and he will ask the inventor to file another draft where he could segregate both the inventions, file another patent for chair, file another patent for table. That's called as divisional application. So this divisional application option is not there in the hands of inventors. It is always at the discretion of examiner, that is patent examiner. Type of patent filing that I have already discussed, the provisional and the complete. There is a workshop also associated with this. I mean, I will take a short time of 10 minutes where you can search. You all must be having your Android phones with you, and you only have to go google.com/patents. It's a patent search database. I will come up in the next slide for this activity. It's a basic student based activity, and our objective is to find a 100 watt bulb where the tungsten filament is there, and that tungsten filament is being coated by some carbon nanofiber. So that will be the objective, and the best part after this activity, whosoever finds the latest patent over this invention. So that is a basic activity we are going to get involved into it. Types of patent search, I mean patentability search, that I have already elaborated in earlier slides. Like 3 criteria has to be there, whether it is patentable or not. Novelty has to be there, inventive step has to be there, and then industrial applicability. Apart from these 3 criteria, there are also sections where medical processes, agricultural process, anything occurring in the natural state, that cannot also be filed as a patent. So this legal part, that consists of a search that is called as the patentability search. That if you approach any of the IPR professional, he will tell you, or else you can go to any of the national jurisdiction based legislation. For India per se, you will find Indian Patent Act 1970, which has been modified in 2014-15 as well. You can find the sections, relevant section, where it is clearly mentioned this cannot be filed as a patent. Next is the freedom to operate. These FTO is generally being done by the companies, where companies want to be ensured that we want to launch some product, and we are not infringing upon specific product of someone XYZ companies. Also there are FTOs being done in order to be certain whether this product launch will be beneficial or fruitful for the company, where specific investment is being done over the R&D part, over the marketing, or the product development part of that invention. Validity search is another kind of search where validation of the patent is being done. Specific databases are being used such type of for doing such type of validity searches. In market you will find Thomson Reuters, you will find Questel, you will find Orbit, LexisNexis, and Google Patents, and even USPTO also provides a database for patent searches. You can go through Google, you can find these database readily available. Certain databases are available on subscription base, certain databases are available free of cost. If I talk about the best free of cost database, I find it EPO's GPI to be the best database which is freely available. You can go on EPO website, European Patent Office website, and you can perform a basic search using that database. State of the search, art search, that is another search where these private companies, they in order to plan and maneuver and plan a futuristic kind of approach, they do a state of search using all the patent databases, and they find out the patent database literature as well as non-patent literature, and find out the overall modality, how come using the existing resources we can come to a conclusion where such type of research will lead to a objectified or the desired result from our research. So that is called as the state of the art search. As I have mentioned, I mean, it will be a 10-minute workshop where a basic 100-watt bulb search patent will be given. The best, I mean, I assume whosoever brings the latest patent over this patent search, you will get the highest marks over that. This I have already mentioned, I mean, how you can do a patent search. You can go to ipindiaservices.gov.in for the public search. You can go to patents.google.com. Patent databases, paid databases are not available right now without any subscriptions. I would suggest you to open your mobiles and go through this database, patents.google.com. Can you open your mobiles? So that's the student's activity. You can go to the basic idea behind any patent search. We have to jot it down in an abstract way. Why abstract is required? Because a short, precise form of your research has to be there. And why? What is the relevance of having that abstract? We generally try to find out key features of that invention. We generally segregate the key features into 3 modalities called as key feature 1, 2, 3. That's the modality how I perform the search. In many commercial establishments where IPR professionals are there, they use KF1 to KF10, and they segregate tens of features in a single patent search database. So here we will not go up to the level of KF10. We will start with KF1, 2, and 3. Assume that you have a 100-watt bulb. It is where a tungsten filament is there, and that filament has been coated by a nanofiber. carbon nanofiber. So whosoever brings the latest patent using this database, I assume you have done the right key feature as well as the right keyword for searching that patent. I assume your search will be done within 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Are you able to connect with the internet from Meta? There is one question. You said that there is difference between patent and copyright.
Can we resume with this question after this activity? Yeah. If there is an issue in understanding this activity, it's a simple activity. You can go to patents.google.com. Assume you have an abstract which consists of a 100-watt bulb where tungsten filament is there, and that tungsten filament has been covered, or that tungsten filament has been coated with a carbon nanofiber. And whosoever brings the latest patent, so suppose you bring a patent which was filed in 2017, 18 or 16, I assume your patent search was relevant with with right key features as well as right keywords.
You should have gotten a chocolate.
Yeah, you can have a chocolate at the concluding of this hackathon.
Hackathon.
So chocolate is great secret.
Yeah.
Can we patent recipes as well?
No.
So
Yeah.
chocolates can be patented.
Sir, the process can be patented. Since chocolate is occurring in a natural state, sugar is occurring in a natural state. However, if you are using any specific preservative for the preservation of chocolate, that preservative can be used, can be filed as a patent. I can help them. Are you doing any searches?
Yeah, I was just trying to when connections on that stream. Can you find anything?
मैं कर रहा था बंद कर लो माइक बंद कर लो बंद हो गया अच्छा तो वो तेजस कह रहा था कि वो कुछ प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट बनाने का नहीं है पता नहीं क्या है
मना कर रहा है? अच्छा, मैं पूछ लेता हूँ। Sorry? Lamps, not bulbs. Sorry? Tungsten filament bulb, lamps. What is the year number of that? When was that filed? Patent?
1948.
Huh?
1948.
Oh, I've also asked for a carbon nanofiber coated tungsten filament. Yes.
2014.
Can I have the abstract of that patent? Where your chocolate will not be certain, since you are a PhD student, you still have 4 or 5 patents on your name.
Achha.
It's one of the innovators.
People who have money can't make people who have money can't make more money. give him the wrapper.
You can also discuss your
Actually,
innovation because that would put the context.
Halogen lamp having carbon fiber filament. Yes,
That
that's
will
it.
highlight the context of.
Anyone else? Yes. 2000. Is it carbon coated, carbon nanofiber coated, tungsten filament? It's carbon nanotube. Yes. Okay. Chalo. 2317. Yes. Open it. Just a minute.
Wait.
Okay, thanks. Anyone from this side? Okay. Okay, so the latest patent has been searched by Arun. Although there was he has an added advantage because he has been into this associated with this patenting system, and he has filed himself some 4 or 5 patents. Am I right? Sorry? So the reason behind that is the finding the exact keyword. I mean, sometimes you say that you want to search a bulb. There could be any bulb, and not only the glowing bulbs, there could be some devices or some machinery where bulb kind of structure is also involved. So when you put the exact keyword into the database, because the database doesn't understand what do you mean by that bulb. But when you supplement it with specific supplementary keywords like a 100-watt bulb, when you want to come to a conclusion where the bulb, the power wattage should be 100 watts. And you also want to be certain that the filament should be made of tungsten. You also want to be certain that the tungsten should be coated with nanocarbon fiber as well. So there is a specific property associated with the power wattage, with the material of that bulb, with the coating of that bulb, strength of the material, and the glowing power as well. So in combination of all these, you will get your results. And it's not a one-day task to learn all this. It comes with certain experience, I mean, on daily activities. I've been into this for past 7-8 years. Now also, sometimes my results, I get false positive results as well during my patent search reports. But after due certain experience, you will be, I mean, you will become user friendly with these databases, and you will be able to find out whether any invention is infringing upon your invention or you are infringing upon someone else's patent as well. There are certain organizations who on daily basis do search whether whatever be the patents that they have filed or the product or the inventions that they have filed in the market, someone else is infringing upon or not. So that's the daily activity these MNCs like Google, Tesla, Samsung, Apple, they have been. You might have heard about the patent wars between Samsung and Apple. The recent patent war is ongoing over the Enfield bullet motorcycle. Someone from a startup company has filed a suit against the Enfield company. What they have done, there was a conversion of AC current which has been provided, which arises from the dynamo of that motorcycle and gets translated to the, wired to the battery of that motorcycle. Now that conversion has to be very continuous. While in the earlier existing motorcycles, there was a fluctuation of light in the motorcycle due to that conversion of AC to DC. Now this new patent has been filed by that startup company. The latest suit has been filed by that startup company over the Enfield, and the current scenario is very soon the government could give a stay over the usage or selling of new units of this motorcycle as well. So that's the importance of IPR, how a small idea could develop into a great product, and how this small invention could materialize, I mean, could liquidate a very good returns from your effort or the hard work that you have done. So that's the main objective behind doing this patent search, this patent filing, or even filing a design registration or copyright.
Can you show us how you should search this?
Sorry?
How you should search this?
Yeah, I will come to this, certainly. Ma'am, you were asking something?
Yeah, I was asking, what if we come up with an ingenious idea and due to some constriction of time we cannot continue working on it?
Okay.
The idea is novel.
Uh-huh.
That's thing number one, just get. And then, can you patent the idea meanwhile? You said something about provisional patent.
Yes.
So, till what extent, to what, like, through, till where in the process can we access provisional patent?
To what
If we
extent?
just at the level of idea,
Huh.
the idea.
Ma'am, idea can be patented. There is a general community that you need to have a prototype for filing a patent. That's not the case. Even the idea can also be filed as a patent. But a check is there that idea should not be only on papers. That could be possibly be reproduced into an invention or to a product. The examiner's duty is to make a due diligence and come to a conclusion where he could say that this idea is not only on paper but can also be converted into a real product as well. Okay. And regarding the provisional patent, I assume that you are trying to ask whether if your idea is in ideation phase, you want to convert into a prototype stage. Yes, is it so? And you will take some specific time in converting that idea. You don't want someone else to copy your idea as well. For that, yeah, for that specific, you will have to file a provisional patent. You will be given a time period of 12 months. During that 12 months of time, you can file your complete application called as CAP, complete after provisional. However, in case where your complete result is there, suppose you have invented something, a lathing machine, where the lathing machine frequency and the polishing frequency are not matching. That matching frequency, you will take another 12 months of time to come to a conclusion by doing a regular job works over that lathing machine. For that specific, you can file initially a provisional patent. You can give the graphs, you can give the diagrams, images, images are not allowed, the drawings and figures of your invention. You can proceed ahead with the provisional draft. When you come to a conclusion that this research has been done, you can go for the CAP as well. How to file a patent? That's also one of the trickiest part of filing a patent. However, IPR professional's help cannot be negated. You can go to ipindia.nic.in. What you need is a digital class 3 digital signature. You can get this digital signature from IP Mudra or TCS or some other company. That is generally given for a duration of 1 to 2 years. And there are certain paperworks involved, like your address proof, your ID proof, then your photograph, then you get a private key as a digital signature. So this digital signature ensures that you are the only person who is going to file this application, or from your own name someone else is not filing this patent application. That's the method how one can himself file a patent. You can go to ipindia.nic.in, you can log in with your digital signature, you can feed your draft into the patent portal, you can pay the fees for that patent application, and further you can submit the application. Upon submitting the application, you will get an acknowledgement from the patent office, and within 2 days your fee receipt will also be generated. That's the current state of patent filing in India right now. However, when you feel you are not capable enough to file the patent, you can approach any of the patent attorneys. They will file the patent application on behalf of you. What they will ask you, they will provide you a patent disclosure form, which will consist of very basic information from your invention. You can feed that basic information into the patent disclosure form. Further, the patent attorney will ask you to sign a power of attorney, so that on behalf of you he can file a patent in Indian jurisdiction, or as well as wherever be the desired jurisdiction is. So that modality, using that modality, you can file your patent. The patent fees varies from a natural inventor to an institutional applicant. When I say applicant, there is a specific reason why I am saying applicant. Applicant means the owner of a patent. While when I say inventor, inventor is the one who has invented a patent. I am an inventor of a patent, but the applicant in this case is IIT Kanpur. IIT Kanpur owns this patent. Suppose IIT Kanpur wants to sell this patent, he can sell it, because he has, I'm getting salary from IIT Kanpur, I'm getting all the resources from IIT Kanpur, the research resources have also been acquired from IIT Kanpur. So this way, that's the main difference between having an inventor and an applicant. In case of natural inventors, where you are not working somewhere, you want to file a patent, you will become the inventor as well as the applicant. The fees for a natural inventor is 1600 rupees, for an institutional applicant that is 8000 rupees. Similar way, other forms are also available. If you want to expedite your publication, if you want to expedite your examination, in the normal course of time, a patent application gets granted within 48 months of time. But if that's a very good innovation where some drug is coming out, some vaccine is coming out, you can go ahead and use specific forms called as expedited mode of patent examination, expedited mode of patent publication. Using those modalities, you can pay extra fee, say 60,000 rupees for expedited examination, and you can get your patent granted within a duration of 1 month. Generally, drug companies are doing such type of expedited examination, and I still recall a very well-known patent which was granted within a duration of 3 days of time, within India only. That's how the website looks like for the patent. ipindia.nic.in. You can log in with the password using your digital signature, and as a natural inventor as well. There is also option for offline filing. Those who are not well versed, I'm talking about the grassroots innovations, they can use the offline mode of patent filing. And there is alternative for language as well. You can file the patent in English as well as in Hindi as well. If you want to send your patent application through offline mode, you can download the forms, you can fill them up and send to the patent office via the speed post or the registered post. However, you can submit the patent application fee in the form of demand draft or a banker's check as well. So what are the components of a patent? These are the basic components of a patent. It starts with the title of the patent, applicant details, preamble, field of the invention, background, and the best part is the abstract comes at the last stage. On the contrary, abstract in other jurisdictions like US patent or China or other jurisdiction, abstract is the first thing after the title. But in our jurisdiction, as per se the legislation, the abstract you will find as the last stage of this patent draft as well. If you have any questions regarding these components, you can ask me right now. How much time required for grant of a patent? Normally 48 months. Exceptional expedited patent application could be done in a period of 30 months. So there is a specific timeline associated with patent filing and granted. When you file a patent on 1st January 2010, the patent gets published after 18 months of time. That is, it might be 1st of June 2011, and the same patent application gets examined by the patent examiner on 1st of January 2014. So that's the duration of a patent life cycle. However, if you want to expedite this patent publication, you will have to file a specific form called as Form 9. Your patent gets published within a 1 month of time in the patent journal. If you want to expedite that 48 months time to a 1 month time, you can use two forms, that are Form 9 as well as Form 18. So your patent examination could also be expedited. But on the contrary, you have against the normal fees, you have to pay excess fee. For example, for expedited publication, you will have to pay 12,500 as the official filing fee. You will have to pay 60,000 rupees for an expedited examination fee. So for getting early patent grant, you will have to pay extra. Now another question comes, how can we go ahead and proceed and file a patent in other countries? Has anyone seen the patent draft of US Patent Office or China Patent Office? Anyone? You are not counted. So there is a specific modality of filing a patent in other countries. If I talk about the number of countries falling under the TRIPS signatory, there is a specific trade intellectual property rights treaty which was filed by 137 countries. They will have to abide by the regulations and rules of that TRIPS. There is a specific route for filing a patent in other countries. Suppose you have filed a patent in India and you want to file a patent in Pakistan as well. So what timeline you will get? If you file a complete patent application on 1st January 2010, you will have to file a foreign patent application before 31st of December in that specific 12 months of time only. Suppose now you want to say, sir, I am not able to figure it out whether I will be able to file the foreign patent within a time span of 12 months or not. So I would say you can file another application called as PCT application, Patent Cooperation Treaty. With using this PCT route, you can expand your window of 12 months to 31 months, specific for India, and in other countries this time duration through PCT is 30 months. So you are exactly buying time by paying extra fees. So PCT is nothing but expansion of time. For example, you are a drug company, you are not sure whether your drug could be sellable in all these 137 countries. You do not want to spend that much amount of money in all these countries just for the sake of filing a patent and getting a protection. So there is no logic behind filing a patent where there is no sales figure for that specific drug. So in order to do the market research and all the market based requirements over that product, you need some specific more time for that. For such type of requirements, you can file a PCT. There's another activity for students for writing a claim. I mean, claim is the most important part of a patent application. If I tell you about how examination of patent application is done, the only part that is examined at the initial phase is the claim part. If there is any objection, then the examiner goes back to the description or the abstract or to any other brief description or the diagrams. Initially the examination happens only on the claim part, and that is a main component of a patent. How a patent is being drafted, the only USP behind drafting a patent claim part is, suppose a blind person can also understand your invention. That's the main requirement for having a claim draft. You want to elaborate in a written manner that you have invented something. You write in such a way that even when you close your eyes, you understand what has been written in that modality. Now let's take an example of claim for a chair. A seat having a first side and opposed second side. Okay, the side could be anything, this side or the other side. A first leg joined to the second side of the seat. Now the one side has been certain that on one side some leg has been added to that chair. Now I am a examiner, I do not understand and haven't seen a chair in my life. Now I want to understand what a chair looks like. Let's proceed ahead. A second leg joined to the second side of the chair. Now the only thing that is in picture is the second side. All the legs being joined, that is the first leg and the second joint. Both legs are joined on the second side of the seat. Come again. A third leg joined to the second side of the seat. Again, the third leg is also attached to the second side of the seat. Now we are at least sure that 4 legs have been joined to the second side of the seat. That is supported by the first, second, third and fourth legs. So all 4 legs are on the second side of the seat. A back support on the first side of the seat fitted at an angle of 100 degree. Now here comes a picture. On the first side of the seat you have supported an angle of 100 degree, some support. Okay, that support will be supplemented by the figures, drawings and how a seat looks like. So that's the main objective and approach how a claim is being drafted. A student's activity has been written in the next page. You can write at least 3 or 4 claims for a basic claim drafting exercise. The objective behind this is to write claims for a pencil. I mean, you all know how a pencil looks like. Assume you are the inventor for that pencil and assume that the examiner doesn't know how a pencil looks like or how the pencil works. So you'll have to write 4, 5 or 6 claims over the pencil. There are specific hint words that I would like you to know. Hexagonal, elongated, encasing, core element. You can start within 5-10 minutes. You can write at least 4, 5 or 6 claims. No, it's a sir, it's an activity. I mean, you assume that you do not, you are the only inventor for pencil, and the examiner or the public, general public doesn't know how a pencil looks like, and you have invented something. So how will you write that claim part for that draft? That's the student activity. Yeah.
The second side.
Initially what I have said, a seat having a first side. So there are 2 sides of a seat.
The backrest is the first side.
Yes. Initially, any side could be a first side or a second side. But where I have joined 4 legs, that becomes the second side. And where I have attached the support at an angle of 100 degree, that becomes the first side. Yeah. I assume most of you are done with this activity. Shall we proceed ahead? Okay, from one of the participants, she has written one claim. However, I was expecting at least 3-4 claims. I haven't given any numbers to this seed-based claims, but I was expecting at least 3-4 claims from this. Generally, there is a segregation of claim part as well. One is called as a principal claim, or the independent claim, and the rest of the claims are dependent. When we mention the previous claim, those are dependent claims, and when we do not mention any specific claim, that is called as independent claim. Now here one of the participants has written a wooden elongated stick which has a hexagonal shape encasing a central graphite lead. Is it lead? Why is it lead? Then any specific reasons behind that? Yes.
What if somebody doesn't know, can only know the artificial pencil that we use in a day?
Lead is another, lead material is somewhat different. Why this word lead is?
Lead, for the sake, it has something to write with.
Okay, can you not replace this word lead with the core material?
Yeah, I have used it.
Okay. Because when you say lead, the examiner will directly go to lead only, while lead is never used in pencils. Only graphite is used.
So you think it has some referring to
Yes, element. Whenever you say something, the claim, the examiner will particularly go to that section only.
I am referring to the word lead.
Yes.
Lead means something of the, like
Huh.
once you buy
I understand, you are going right. Yeah, I understand. So generally whenever our pencil breaks, what we say, the lead has broken. But ultimately what has broken? The core material of the pencil that is made of graphite. So that's if you talk about an examiner examining, please baith jaiye. When he is examining your application, he will directly go to the claim part of your invention and he will check only the relevant details are there. But in this case, when you mention lead in your claims for writing a claim for a pencil, he will go back to the background, detailed description, summary, abstract, or the figure of your invention. He will find everything, but he will not find lead in your invention. Okay? So whenever you use any particular word, be sure that whatever you are mentioning, it is very relevant to your invention per se. Okay, now we move ahead, a wooden elongated stick. Okay, a blind person understand that is a elongated stick which has a hexagonal shape. The shape could be hexagonal, since we have written a claim for a pencil which is where the shape is hexagonal. Pencils are also cylindrical. Okay, where a circular outer surface is also there. A central graphite lead which is the core element. Okay, this core element, this is okay, except the lead part. Once sharpened, the core element is exposed and can be used to write or draw a piece of blank paper. Ma'am, when you have said can be used to write or draw on a piece of blank paper, can we not say when the core material is rubbed across the piece of paper, it leaves a strike mark on the paper? Draw. But when you say draw, you'll have to say you are drawing something. When you say that you are leaving a mark, then you are saying across the surface of the paper you are leaving a mark just by rubbing both the core element as well as the surface of the paper. After this activity, you are leaving a mark. So that's the main scientific USP. What is the use of, or the application part of this? However, application part is not being given in the claim part. Only the claims. What does it comes in the patent draft.
And once it's written that I can draw and write on this piece of paper.
Huh.
When I use the words like draw and write,
Okay. Huh.
doesn't it suffice that it is the application?
It is sufficing the requirement, but it is sufficing in a broader manner, not in a specific manner. Had it been a case where in the earlier case you have said the graphite lead, which is the core element, that is sufficing the requirement. But here when you say draw on a piece of blank paper, so draw means you could draw anything. I mean, it could be a printing draw as well. I mean, it could be anything else from that invention. So you'll have to understand, if a blind person is going through this invention, will he be able to understand what does draw means? So the main USP is, so a person who doesn't, I'm just quoting an example where pencils are being used. We are elaborating the pencils since we have been using pencils since our childhood. But the main intent is to think about an invention where you have invented something and the world doesn't knows about that. So how you make other person understand what is the USP of this invention, how relevant this invention is.
Medical example, stethoscope. Like, how would you patent the stethoscope if you are the inventor of stethoscope? How will you patent?
This is a hard question. You want me to write?
No, I mean this is. See, again, patenting, drafting a patent is an art which patent lawyers do better than others. But we as an inventor should know what is there in that stethoscope, which is the part which needs to be, which will give you magic of it against everything. Am I right?
Yeah. So Tejas is also one of the inventors. He has invented few. He's a serial inventor, not only the inventor, but he's also serial entrepreneur. And let's move on to the next part after the students' activity. I have quoted few examples of real-time examples how important IP is. I mean, what is the relevance of having such type of IPs in our daily life? Many times I have seen inventors, they have just bypassed the inventions, and they thought not by filing the patent, it's okay not to file a patent. I quote you a very relevant global example where what was the outcome for not filing a patent. Sorry, Aman. That I have already discussed. That I will discuss. Okay. How many of you heard about this lady, Catherine Hettinger? No one? She knows. She's my colleague. So Catherine Hettinger made a very good invention. She filed a patent for that invention, and in 1993. Now, do you get this? What this invention is all about? A spinning fidget. Kids play with this, and it costs around 40-50 rupees. Earlier it used to come at 150 rupees or 200 rupees. She has filed a patent in 1993. Patent gets granted in 1997. This lady Catherine Hettinger goes to a toy maker company called as Hasbro, and they the company mocks her in front of everyone. What is the irrelevant object you brought to this pitching deck? And what is do not spare, I waste our time in for doing such type of activities. I mean, the lady Catherine Hettinger got disheartened. She thought it's better to lose this invention, not to file a patent for this. Patent lapses in 2005. She didn't had the $400 money, and she didn't had the intent to pay the annuity fees as well. Had it been a case where she would have paid the $400 US, then she would have enjoyed the rights till from 1993 till 2013. In 2009 alone, the overall turnover for this fidget alone was 19 million sold per year. Had it been a case where 10% of stake was given to Catherine Hettinger, what could have been the intent of this invention? So whenever someone says, "Ye aapka bekar hai," what is the point of having this invention? एक कान से सुनिए, दूसरे से निकाल दीजिए. There is no point in listening to these type of scripts. So that's one of the prominent examples that we have gone through.
But don't you think that is commercialized only because that patent is expired?
That was another story. I see from a different perspective. You could say a half glass is full, half glass is empty. Although technology being used by the public domain, compulsory licensing, I hope you understand, that is necessary. But when the government feels or the public authority feels that this invention is not properly being utilized by general manufacturers, but a monopoly has been taken by a single person. But in the existing example, many companies made huge amount of money, but the one who didn't made was the one inventor who invented this invention. So next time, please make sure you file your IP, you always go for it, you translate your idea into a prototype and finally into a product, and you make good revenues out of your product. That's the main intent.
But like, is there a way, to judge whether to go file a patent or not? Let us say I have a concept, I have an idea,
Uh-huh.
and
Patent
I file a
assessment
provisional.
kind.
No, like I go to a company. See,
Huh.
I am not. See, Catherine is not a manufacturer.
Yes.
So let us say she goes to a toy company and says, gives a non-disclosure form, says "Okay, this is the object. And is there like what is the way where I can
Okay.
or don't
So-
go for filing
Okay.
just by having an idea and judge whether this is market fit or not.
Okay.
And then file a patent.
Okay. Per se, I mean, I would always suggest to file a patent first, then go for the evaluation. And that's a basic approach I would suggest. Not to take a risk just by saving 40,000-50,000 rupees by not filing and then doing the market research, because the market research alone would require substantial amount of investment. If you are going on a bigger sample size for the market research, you would certainly require 20th folds of times the amount of money that is required for filing a patent. So the best approach I would suggest is to file a patent first, then you can go and find out the prospective partners or investors or any pitching place where you can propose your ideas as well. You never know who is going to imitate or copy your inventions. It might also happen you are taking help from some friend or some colleague, and what he's doing, he's filing the patent on his colleague's relative's name in Bangalore, in England or in USA. So do not compromise on your invention. First file your patent, then you proceed and then disclose it.
So you mentioned that before filing a patent, yeah, we can obviously file a patent for an idea. But before filing a patent, it is more preferable if you have some application or something to back it up.
Okay.
So to what extent it is required
Application to back it out?
to back my claims about an idea?
Okay. Can you please repeat your question?
See, when you were mentioning that what all things can be patented, you said that we can patent an idea,
Huh.
but it will be ideal if we have some applications and some things to back our ideas up.
Okay, that's mandatory. I mean, I guess I assume you are talking about the three requirements for filing that is a patentability. I assume you are talking about that, the novelty, the inventive step and the industrial applicability. Without that, even if you file a patent, it will get rejected. Just quote an example, whatever be the draft that you put inside the application, doesn't make a certainty that you will get the grant of that patent. After the examination only, the patent, when patent gets examined, you will evaluate it on all these three criteria, and upon the complete evaluation, you will be given a grant of a patent. So whenever you file a patent, make sure yourself that you are qualifying all the three criteria as well as the patentability legislative requirements as well. That is it's not a process of a medical practice, it's not a process of agriculture, it's not occurring in natural state, it's not defying any natural laws of sciences. So these all requirements will prevail always. It's not that you file a patent, you can bypass these requirements.
The question was, suppose I want to patent a product and I have an idea about it, but do I need to present the complete product to have my patent done, or can I just get the proofs of my ideas and have my patent?
Yes, with the proof as well, you can go ahead. You need not to have a product or prototype to file for a patent. With the idea alone, you can proceed and file a patent. Okay, that's a myth to have a patent, have a product or a prototype for becoming eligible to file a patent. Okay, with an idea alone, with a sufficient disclosure on paper, you can proceed ahead and file a patent. Okay, and it's not mandatory during the life cycle, so that you in reality made a product. It is not a mandation from the patent office. You may make a product, you may not make a product. However, if the government feels that you are keeping a monopoly over the product or the patent right that you are having, they can give a compulsory license to other such companies or to entities who might produce it and give benefit to the general public at large.
Sir, then we should write dimensions also, because without the dimensions, how long it is.
Dimensions?
Without dimensions, how can we,
Can you please stand up? I'm
without
not-
dimensions,
Yes.
without dimension of the object, how can we say that it's how long it is, like the piece of pencil,
Huh.
you said it is long enough, it belongs to the object.
Okay. So I guess you are talking about the miniaturization model or the expansion of a specific invention. Is that the case? I mean, a pencil could be a small one, a pencil could be a large one. Our main intent behind this patent filing is that you get the protection over the idea that you have made. Suppose you have made an invention which consists of an encasing of a wooden, plus the core material is made of graphite. When you rub it across the piece of paper, it leaves a strike mark. Okay, so now what you are doing, the strike mark could be done by using a plastic encasing as well, but when we put a dimension and we narrow it down, we say it's a 10 centimeter long elongated pencil. Aren't we narrowing it down to a specific use case only? Whenever we file a draft of a patent, we always propose and we always suggest to our inventions, please make it large. Suppose you have a vehicle where 5 tires are there. We will never ever mention that our vehicle contains 5 tires. Someone else could use it in a 6 tire mode. We would say that the movement of that vehicle is done by the tires or the wheels only. So I always propose is to broaden the invention as much as it is possible. I take an example. Recently I have invented something, a nasal filter. Okay, the nasal filter, I haven't done the prototype at the stage of patent filing. The prototype was done at a later stage. Initially what I have done, I assumed that there could be a micro pillars as well as nano pads. I was assuming that by putting the micro pillars and the nano mats inside the housing of that micro pillar, nano nasal filter, I assumed that the bacteria and viruses could be trapped inside the housing. Have I done the exact practicals or the experiments by using the nanomats and the micro pillars? No, I haven't done that. I just kept an idea in front of the patent application that this could possibly be done. What I have done, I have proposed few concepts inside my patent application that this could be used, this could be used, this could be used. Had it been a case where I have right size that this has been used in a particular dimension with this much size and this much volume, then what will happen? My patent application will be narrowed down. Anyone else could file another patent application with a similar type of functionality, and he could also get a patent application over that. Whenever some suits are filed over a patent infringement, all patent application suits are always discarded only because of narrow patent applications. So whenever someone files a patent application, we always propose to file it as broader as it is possible. So dimensioning it might narrow the patent application.
When you are filing your patent,
Yes, sir.
if I also come up with a similar idea,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know whether you have filed or not.
Uh-huh.
So can I make a search that
This idea is like
it's already been patented?
Yes.
Okay, approved,
Huh.
it's available for
Yes.
PV.
Yes.
But what is in the still under review?
Yes.
So how would I know that?
Okay. So Dr. Banghera is trying to say there is a specific period of publication, 18 months of publication. When you file a patent application today, your patent gets published after 18 months of time. During that 18 months of time, how one can be certain that this patent application has not been filed by someone else? Okay, that job belongs in the hands of patent examiner. At the time of examiner, patent examiner will try to find out who has filed the earlier patent. So earlier the one who has filed the patent, he gets the grant for that patent. For example, if someone files a patent at 1 p.m. on 23rd of May and someone else files the same patent on 4 p.m. on 23rd of May, 23rd of May. So the one who has filed the patent at earlier time duration, he gets the grant of that patent.
But will I have access to that?
No sir, that you do not have the access. Until unless it comes into the public domain, you will not get to know whether it is out or not, whether it has been filed or not. There is a specific reason why this doesn't comes in the public domain. A patent application during a duration of 18 months when it has not been published, we assume suppose some infringement comes and the applicant or the inventor wants to withdraw that patent application. Suppose by mistake he is infringing upon and he has copied by mistake or deliberately or willingly he wants to withdraw that application. So he has been given a time duration of 18 months. He has enough time to think, then he can withdraw his application as well. We went through this very well-known MNC in India. We worked collaboratively. There was a dispute after the provisional patent application. We used a specific modality by not filing the complete after provisional application, and the patent application got withdrawn. And whatever be the patent application gets withdrawn, it never comes in the public domain. So there was no reason for that MNC company to file a suit against the institution. Another case study over the design patent I would like to quote. I mean, how many of you know this this bike? Have you seen this bike? Please raise your hands if you have. Okay, what's the name of this bike? Yeah? Design. It's Pulsar. Okay. Okay, I might have clicked twice. So Bajaj Pulsar came into the market by Bajaj Automotive Limited in 2001. We all know how China is. China floated another bike called as Gulsar. They took out the stickers and they put another sticker and named it as Gulsar. Now I tell you some very important story. In Sri Lanka, both these bikes were being sold. Gulsar as well as Pulsar, and there was a crossroad where the showrooms of Bajaj Pulsar as well as Gulsar were adjacent to each other, and both the dealers were fighting daily, and each were claiming that my bike is original while yours is duplicate. So Bajaj filed suit in Sri Lanka and China, and how this has happened? Just due to the small negligence of Bajaj Limited. They haven't filed the design patent in Sri Lanka as well as in China. Had it been a case where they would have filed the design patent in Sri Lanka as well as in China, this condition would not have occurred. And I tell you, after the verdict came out where Sri Lanka High Court stopped the sale of Gulsar in 2006, Gulsar has outnumbered the units sold by Bajaj Pulsar. So you can imagine it's not only in at the level of small companies or MSMEs, but it is also at the level of MNCs as well. So that's how it is ongoing right now. Loss to Sri Lankan dealers since they have invested sufficient amount of money. After the stay or the government's verdict, one cannot sell or reproduce such type of units. So those who have already invested into the units of those imitated bikes or the infringed products, they lost their money, and the loss was taken care by the dealers only, not by the company.
What happened in China?
China, I mean, there is no solution to China. Even if you get the verdict, you will not have any solution to that.
Yeah, because in China they make Rolls-Royce car.
Yes.
They make BMW.
Yes.
Just Ditto
Yes.
at some 1/4 the cost.
They were the one who made Gulsar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in China they make Rolls-Royce.
Yeah. Yeah. They have their own app.
Copy Boeing's design. What else will you
So, okay, let me ask this question. So, China makes similar Rolls-Royce
Huh.
in China.
Hmm.
Can I import it into India?
No,
So, it gets infringed.
infringed. Because the jurisdiction in India is owned by Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce, I cannot exactly say the exact patent number, but since it's a huge MNC, they must have filed a patent in India, and they must be enjoying the rights within that jurisdiction. Exceptional conditions are there in China. That's the reason how such type of imitation and reproduction is ongoing. Although such type of environment where reproduction or imitation ongoes, I tell you, innovative environment cannot get incubated within that specific space. Anti-competitive practices can never be promoted at public by large or at a micro environment as well. So I would always prefer to and suggest to all of you to have your own inventions, file it and enjoy the rights and get the royalty or the translational monetary benefits from your inventions. That's all I can say. Another relevance of trademark for startup, trademark we have already discussed, protection of symbol, color, word or combination. The term is 10 years. In the multiple of 10 years, you can get extended your term for trademark. Suppose you have filed a trademark for your own invention or for your company, for your startup, and you want to extend it to for multiple years. So you'll have to renew by paying the annuity fee every 10th year. The decision over the granting of your trademark will be taken by the trademark examiner, where he will search whether you are not infringing upon any existing trademark. There is also priority date specific to that trademark. Suppose you haven't registered your trademark, you haven't filed any application for your trademark, government will also see, or the trademark registry will also see for how long you have been using this trademark. For this, I have a very important quote. So this is the logo of IIT Kanpur. This consists of 24 teeth, which depicts the 24-hour culture of IIT Kanpur. This also contains a trishul and the 3 eyes, which shows the wisdom and the power of the institution. So we have been using this trademark for a long time, since establishment of our institution. We went to different parts. We could not be certain for how long we have been using. We went to the archive center of IIT Kanpur. In the library section, we found out this photo. Using very good quality scanners, we came to a conclusion that this is the photograph of first director of IIT Kanpur, Professor P.K. Kelkar. He was sitting with the then volleyball team of IIT Kanpur. And when we zoom this photograph on the blazers of those volleyball team, we have found the trademark logo embedded over the photographs. So this we have deposited in the trademark registry, and we have been granted the trademark grant for this logo. So that's the importance of using the trademark and getting the priority date as well. Sorry, it's not 2018, it's 1959. By mistake, I could have written it. Since a lot of medical practitioners are here, I would like to quote another example of another case study of trademark, how important it is. That's my friend's company, this Classic 2, and this is a Littmann. I mean, most of you must be knowing what is the quality of this Littmann stethoscope. This has been, this is a 3M product. This has been in market since 1990, and I guess not 1990, but might be around 1988 or 89. It's a very well-known stethoscope. All the doctors, medical practitioners prefer to have this stethoscope only. This startup company came with this product where they have floated a stethoscope with novel features or better features than the classic 3M. But the mistake that they have done was the use of this word called as Classic 2. Since Classic is a product name used by 3M since very long, and they have been using this product since very long. They have filed, initially they gave a notice to that startup company and later filed a suit as well in the commercial court at Delhi as well. The company has to pay heavy damages to 3M as well just for using this this word or prefix of Classic 2. So make sure whenever you name your product, go into the market, search your product whether it is infringing upon someone else's trademark or not. It is as important as a patent, as important as a copyright or a design as well. Yes. Can you please, it's not audible. Trademark for a product name? Yes, you can. Who did?
Sorry, we can't hear you. Speak loud.
Okay. So this is the product of 3M company. Have you heard about 3M company? They have floated a product, Littmann Classic. The name was Master Classic 2 stethoscope. The product name is Master Classic 2. Okay. Now another company came by the name of Narang Medicals. They have floated another product in the name of Narang Classic 2. Okay. It was available on Amazon and Flipkart as well. So 3M got to know that someone is infringing upon their brand value. They are infringing upon the market that they have made. They have filed a notice as well as suit against this. So it was this company's mistake that they were unaware about someone else is making such type of product in the market. So legislation never allows you that you are unaware of about any law. You go in the court of law and you say that sir, I wasn't aware about this law, by mistake I have done that. So the court will never accept this thing. Yeah.
So what if like I file a trademark for Classic 2 in office, and they reject my
Reject.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I know by
Yes. So always file your trademarks.
So as soon like if I decide a name, I file a trademark. If it is rejected, I stop it.
Yes.
Otherwise
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes. Even before filing, I mean.
Because it's impossible to do a search because there are so many products. So
Yeah.
many.
Yeah, but ultimately you will be responsible if you are infringing upon someone else.
So file trademarks.
Yeah.
If it's rejected, then it's fine.
But until unless you get the grant, don't use it on the safer side.
Sure, the other famous one is Volvo. Volvo bus.
Uh-huh.
You know, Volvo, they
Yes.
Volvo on the back of ordinary buses.
Yes, yes.
So Volvo took them to court.
Even the city buses are Volvo.
Yeah, yeah. The other most misused trade name that has been very, very misused. Anybody? One name. Xerox. Where? Xerox.
Reebok.
Xerox. Xerox is actually a trade name.
That has become a term.
And we always say like, Xerox, I'll get a Xerox of it. No, you can't say that.
Yes. Photocopy.
Yeah.
That's. First copy is, yeah, that's an infringement. That is happening in Kanpur as well.
In campus.
Like they are individually produced and we don't have that turnovers and all that, they go unnoticed.
Okay, so that's a enforcement, that's a drawback on the part of enforcement. We do have some drawbacks associated when enforcement of IPRs comes into the picture. Sometimes it happens that Reebok shoes is there in the market and you get the similar kind of same imitated product. Yes, I do agree with that. So,
As an innovator, like
yes.
you have an option to either to sell it as a cheap product or make a brand of this. So that's your choice.
Yeah.
You can always sell it. A classic
Yeah.
will be
Yeah, this company has sold, I mean, worth 25 lakh rupees of stethoscope in an annual year. And since it's known to me, this company, he said, I can afford the prosecution, let the prosecution go on and let me allow to keep on selling. Because I want to afford this prosecution, but do not want to afford losing this sales of this stethoscope. Because, I mean, in Delhi alone, they were outnumbering 3M. This is coming, Littmann is coming 16,000 rupees ka aata hai, or this one is coming worth 7,000 rupees. So it's a clear, I mean, this has many more features than this Littmann's Classic 3. The only thing is it has some brand value associated. So that's how IPR is revolving all around us. Yes, 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 yes. I tell you, because 3M, whatever be the patents that they have filed, are in public domain by 2008. They have filed a patent in 1988. Now the term is over in 2008. They cannot file a suit against this this Narang Medicals just for the process or the product of the patent infringement. Now, so they have got to know that someone is infringing upon the brand name or the trademark name. So this is the only case where they could file a suit against them. So that's another drawback associated with the patents, like the term of patent gets expired after 20 years from the date of patent application.
And you can't renew it.
20 years is the final, yeah.
That's how India is going in pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Ravi,
In the interest of time, I will-
थोड़ी देर
Okay, I'm concluding.
you snack from here.
Okay. So I will finally conclude. Yeah. So and that's, I mean, a very funny copyright case study which I went through. I was going through website, YouTube, and this boy, he's a YouTuber. He uploads videos and he has a huge fan following. He has a following and subscriber around 2 lakh subscriber. And what he has done, he was shooting a video in his car, and in his car he was in a selfie mode taking the video, and in the background some music was ongoing. That copyright belonged to T-Series, and that music went on for more than 30 seconds. And after 30 seconds, I mean, he becomes eligible for the copyright infringement. T-Series filed a strike mark over this video, and whatever be the earning that this boy has made from that video, somewhere around 50,000 or 60,000, that went to T-Series only. So that's the, I mean, a level of sophistication that if you play a music more than 30 seconds, you are infringing upon someone else's copyright as well.
Rebranding mashups, like these days, rebranding mashups of the old songs and all that, and many people.
So they take copyright, they take rights from the original owners. The term for copyright is too long. You might have seen the movie Sholay. So their even grandchildren are enjoying the rights that have been made by their grandfather. So whosoever remixes the song, he first goes to the original author or to the person who by legacy has the right to enjoy the copyright. He gets the right approval from him, then he replaces them. Even the lyrics. Okay, IPR facilitation, I mean, for KGMU, you can, there are agencies like NRDC, TIFAC, IPFC, they run specific facilitation for IP filings, for patent help. In Lucknow alone, you can go to UPCST, or in IIT Kanpur, you can also approach us. We also run an NRDC sponsored innovation facilitation center within the campus. There are specific facilitation in terms of IPR through Startup India. If you're a startup company and you have got the startup recognition certificate from DIPP, you can get your patent filed by the facilitators. These facilitators will not charge a single penny from you. They will get their professional charges reimbursed from the government, and 80% of the government fee will also be reimbursed if you have a Startup India recognition certificate. So that's the way to promote innovation through startup route by the government of India. Thank you.
Okay, so questions, you can always ask questions while we have snack. But the thing is, I want you to think about your concepts, ideas, and how, do the patent search, what kind of stuff is available, what kind of claims you can build around that product so that you can get control. Because all these are medical products and they have a global value. So if you are able to protect a single claim, you can imagine the scale of audience you could reach.
So something which you said about if there are certain areas where it is prohibited, then you can't explore that. One is agriculture.
The process of agriculture.
The process of agriculture.
Uh-huh.
There was something regarding the medical.
After
the process of treatment or the process of surgery or the process of any medication, that also cannot be patented. Not patented.
The process, the techniques, they cannot.
Since that was also a medical device, the stethoscope. Someone has taken a patent.
That's an instrument.
Instrument. But any process how you use that.
The skill cannot.
The skill can.
तो वो नहीं करा सकते आपके सर्जरी बाईपास ओपन हार्ट तो वो नहीं करा
So potato is a naturally, through perennial crop or the hot, the ground-based crop. They can grow potatoes. It's a perennial crop. You cannot, ask if they are filing a suit. Then I would assume that that's one specific variety that they are using for they claim that the farmers cannot grow that without their permission. In terms of agriculture, if that specific crop belongs to PepsiCo, if they have any specific brand certificate from DPVFRA, they can do that. But if it's a local variety being preserved by the farmers, fertilization, then place can be stopped. Gym. I'm not aware about this gym, but if they must have the patent in India or the PPFRA in India.
आपको बताया था
Yeah, Mr. Ravi.
Yes, very important announcement. Whenever you are doing any research, do not disclose it in public, any verbal public disclosure or any written public disclosure, website, journal, until unless you get the patent application number. Once you file the patent application and you get the 11-digit patent application number, then you can proceed ahead and publish your data in the journal. Once you publish your data in a public domain, in a journal or website or something else means of publication, you will never be able to file your patent application. Your own journal will be considered as a prior art when your patent will be examined, if that publication has been done prior to your patent application. What?
How will it